Thanks for becoming a Spyder Roadster owner, and welcome to the safety video. This is a short video filled with safety information. As a new Spyder Roadster user, you are entering the next dimension in open road riding and going where few have gone before. Watch this video before using your Spyder Roadster. Failure to do so may result in serious injury or death. In addition to watching this video, take the time to read and follow your operator's guide. It should be kept at all times with your vehicle. Moreover, before each ride, the operator should always read the safety card located on top of the cluster to remind himself about important safety tips. After watching the video and reading the operator's guide, you should test yourself by answering the questions in the guide. Your next step is to train in a controlled low-risk area to develop your skills by doing the practice exercises shown in the guide. We'll go over this in more detail later in this video. More formal training is also a good idea, so we also recommend that you enroll in a class to hone your knowledge and skills even more. You should refer back to your operator's guide regularly to refresh your knowledge. The Spyder Roadster is a different type of road vehicle. In this section, we will show the distinctive features and operating characteristics. First, the Spyder Roadster has two wheels up front and one behind. This three-wheeled Y configuration provides greater low-speed stability than a motorcycle, and when stopped, it is more stable than a motorcycle. But three wheels are not as stable as four, so it's not as stable as an automobile. So don't think that you cannot tip or roll it. If you make extreme maneuvers or strike uneven surfaces or objects, your vehicle may tip or roll over. It's also possible for you or your passenger to fall off due to hard turns, acceleration, braking, or impacts. The Spyder Roadster is equipped with an electronic vehicle stability system, or VSS. It helps maintain stability in some specific circumstances, but like any similar vehicle technology, if you push beyond its limits or intended capabilities, you can still lose control of your vehicle. To know more about the technology behind the VSS system, watch the VSS video. The best place to ride your Spyder Roadster is on paved roads or hard-packed surfaces, also intended for automobiles. You should avoid loose, soft, or irregular surfaces. It can slip on gravel, dirt, and sand-covered roads. If you must go through these road conditions, you must slow down. This vehicle is not intended for off-road use. It does not have off-road ground clearance and may not operate predictably or safely in these conditions. Avoid puddles and running water. This vehicle can hydroplane on water. Again, if you must go through these road conditions, you must slow down. Do not ride on ice or snow-covered roads. When it comes to stopping, your Spyder Roadster's braking system is more like a car than a motorcycle. You stop by pressing down on a right side foot pedal that brakes all three wheels simultaneously using an anti-lock braking system, or ABS, and an electronic brake distribution system, or EBD. To know more about these sophisticated systems, watch the VSS video. Unlike a motorcycle, there is no hand-operated brake, and there is no way to brake front and rear wheels separately. If you are a motorcycle rider in the habit of squeezing at the handlebar to stop, you will need to practice and become proficient with your brake before getting on the road. That's why you must keep your feet firmly planted on the footrests while riding. This way, you can also operate the foot brake quickly when needed. There is no side stand or center stand for parking, as with a motorcycle. Instead, your vehicle offers a dedicated parking brake that mechanically brakes the rear wheel. Always make certain it is disengaged before starting to move. To prevent you forgetting, a red indicator light and a scrolling message will appear on the gauge cluster. Instruct your passenger to never touch this parking brake pedal as well. To steer your Spyder Roadster, always steer in the direction of the turn. Do not counter-steer as it is done on a motorcycle. Unlike a motorcycle, your Spyder Roadster cannot lean while turning. So if you're a motorcycle rider, you must learn again how to turn. Maybe it sounds obvious, but in fact you must practice until you become proficient with this action of turning the handle in the same direction you want to go, no matter your speed. To provide assistance with steering, the Spyder Roadster features a dynamic power steering, or DPS, helping you turn the handlebar. However, if you are a motorcycle rider, you will notice that steering still requires more effort than on a two-wheeled vehicle. If you want to know more about this feature, you should watch your VSS video. Because the Spyder Roadster does not lean in turns, it's different than a motorcycle. Therefore, you will feel a lateral force pushing your body to the outside of the turn, like you would in an automobile or on an ATV or snowmobile. Be prepared as you're going into corners or turns to brace yourself against the force in order to maintain your balance on the vehicle. To do so, both operator and passenger must hold handlebars and firmly plant feet on foot pegs. In hard turns, it may also help to lean your upper body towards the inside of the turn, as you would on an ATV or snowmobile. Instruct the passengers to watch the road, lean into curves, and brace. Another characteristic of your Spyder Roadster is that it's wider than a typical motorcycle, but narrower than a typical car. If you are a motorcycle rider, you need to be especially aware of that extra width at all times. The Spyder Roadster will simply not fit in some places that a motorcycle might. Because of the extra width, your vehicle also won't permit you to ride on the road in the same way as you might on a motorcycle. For example, you'll have to swing out wider to avoid an obstacle, and the lane width of most highways does not provide enough space to allow the Spyder Roadster to split or share lanes with any other vehicles. So while riding your Spyder Roadster in a group with other vehicles, even motorcycles, always proceed in single file, allowing each vehicle to take up its own unaccompanied lane space. Even staying within your own lane requires cautious attention. Like automobiles, your Spyder Roadster is equipped with a reverse gear so you can back up easily. But backing your vehicle is not the same as reversing your car. Remember that the Spyder Roadster front track is much wider than its rear, so when backing up narrow end first, be sure that the full width of your vehicle fits into the space free from obstructions. To catch the attention of others while you're backing, the hazard flashers will automatically come on. Also, don't forget that backing up your vehicle must be done at very low speed. Driver's license requirements for operating the Spyder Roadster vary by location. Depending on local laws, you may need a motorcycle endorsement, three-wheeled vehicle endorsement, or just a standard automobile driver's license. BRP recommends all to get proper training before getting on the road. Riding three-wheeled open-air vehicles like your Spyder Roadster requires the same type of protection gear as motorcycling. In the event of a crash, protective gear may prevent or reduce injuries. Protective gear also helps you stay comfortable and can help provide protection against the elements. Riding gear can also help a rider be more visible. Wearing bright colors and having reflective material is a wise choice. Recommended basic protective gear for riders and passengers includes sturdy over-the-ankle footwear with non-slip soles, long pants that can protect against burns from hot parts, a jacket that protects you from outside elements like sunburn, cold temperatures, and your skin if you're ejected from the vehicle, full-fingered gloves that protect you against wind, sun, cold, heat, and flying objects, and above all, an approved helmet with proper eye protection that protects your head and brain against injury and protects your eyes against flying elements. On long rides, it's also a good idea to carry rain gear. A dry rider will be much more comfortable and alert than a rider who is wet and cold. Before riding the Spyder Roadster, consider your risk of being hurt or killed in a crash, how you can reduce the risk, and whether you are willing to take the risk. There are many factors that contribute to the risk that you face. You can control some of these factors, but others, like the behavior of other drivers, are beyond your control. That's why it's very important to have the skills and knowledge to be totally in control of your vehicle at all times. It's also critical to understand your Spyder Roadster's operating characteristics and limitations.